serious solvency issues or struggle, or they've got a business that's being digitally disrupted or twisted one way or the other, and or they've got all sorts of employee care and feeding issues. So this is not the year where a lot of CEOs are necessarily sitting around shooting the whatever about, what's happening this year, right? Everybody's kind of all hands on deck, working hard. The people I do speak to, though, and I speak to some, I would say everybody has had a lot of their assumptions shaken this year. Assumptions about, how the market will behave, assumptions about regulations, right? I mean, assumptions about international business, assumptions about their balance sheet, and things that were inconceivable last year. Right? Oracle, TikTok, all sorts of interesting things that you will see on the paper, and people will just like nod, and they're like, not even a second thought, like, oh yeah, that's happening, that's happening. All those things are being considered this year to a much greater degree. So I do have people coming to me and they want to know, how do we think about it and why do we do it? And and they're all starting to think, what's their angle on this now? And so I think it's catalyzing people to be much more open-minded.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. Do you feel like you've kind of broken the dam open and now a bunch of people will follow? Or do you think that this is kind of a slowly but surely, it will take a lot of time for more to kind of follow in your footsteps?
I think it's like the 4-minute mile. I think that people told themselves they couldn't do it, and then someone does it, and then in the next year, dozens and dozens of people do it, right? This particular case, there's a lot of stuff that I've done in my career that was a lot harder than this. And I will say any entrepreneur that ever successfully launches a business and gets to profitability will have accomplished something much harder than what we did. So it's a challenging project, but it's not beyond the capability of any management team. I think that a lot of people just kind of had a mental block, or it's just in this block of, I just dismiss it, I don't even consider it, and then they get focused on something else. My own experience is, from the day that I decided that I wanted to buy Bitcoin, if I decided on that day as an individual, you go to these high-end exchanges, it's going to be 6 weeks to get through the KYC for an individual if you want to do it. If you're a company, a private company, and if you had your team all around you, from the point that you thought it was interesting, you're 12 weeks to 18 weeks to get through the hoops. If you're a nimble publicly traded company, I think you're looking at 6 months. And if you're a good company, like just a good, rational, publicly traded company you put on the docket, you would do it in 9 to 12 months. And so I think that people were kind of oblivious to the need / the role of Bitcoin and the Bitcoin narrative of digital gold, right? This is the ultimate inflation hedge. This is if it's not 10x better than gold, it's 100x. Maybe it's 1,000x better than gold. We could go on for hours. I could tell you why I think it's 1,000x better than gold. But let's just assume, since we're preaching to the choir, that it's 1,000x better than gold. Once you realize that it's 1,000x better than gold, from that point, it's minimum 12 weeks if you went like a bat out of hell, and probably 6 months. And I kind of feel that if people were waiting to see if this was possible, well, they kind of saw our announcement August. So the 6-month clock starts in August. If they were if they were just perfectly configured, if they had all the same characteristics as us, then they start focusing on this in May or June. Nobody's thinking about this in March or April. Everybody's just so busy trying to keep the doors open and their bell's getting rung. So take August and say August, September, October. December, January, February. I think that what you're going to see is over the next 2, 3, 4 months, something interesting. Substantially 95% of that money is either invested in our stock or in Bitcoin, and we've accomplished that in short order, right? Like over the course of 6 weeks or 4 weeks. Now, regarding acquiring that much Bitcoin, first of all, I can't give you like exact blow-by-blow details because I've got security issues and the world is watching, and I can't. But what I can do is I can describe to you, if you were running a company, how you should think about this. If you were in my position, which is you're going to go and you're going to audition a bunch of institutional grade exchanges. You're going to work through and look for institutional grade custodians. You're going to look at all of the security issues, all the technology issues, etc. You're gonna think about the team. You're gonna build a relationship with them, and then you're gonna buy. If you're gonna buy that much, you're going to buy it in thousands or tens of thousands or 100,000 plus small transactions, day and night, minute by minute, over the course of many days. So it's not like we're going in. I'll sit and I'll watch this happening, and I've got a great team, a great team that I've worked with, and some excellent professionals. They are brilliant geniuses at what they do, but let me tell you, they've got great technology too, right? It's like, and you got to have the right technology, you got to have the right team, and then you have to be very patient, like very, very patient. I'll watch people walk in on Monday morning, and it's like, okay, some dude just got up at 9 a.m. and decided to buy some Bitcoin, and the price spikes. Whenever I see that, I'm like, well, that guy won't be in the market very long, because no one that really wanted to buy a lot of Bitcoin would be so silly as to spike the price so hard. I can tell you this, which is we bought $425 million worth of it, and we never ran the price. Not a dollar. Like, you don't know.
Pretty impressive. Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
If I'm in the market, you wouldn't know that I'm trading against you ever, because that's not how you get stuff done, right? Let the market come to you. So the good news is, if you want to buy hundreds of millions or sell hundreds of millions, you can do it and not be seen, and you can do it without moving the market materially or panicking anybody. But you have to have the right team, the right tools, and the right discipline. You can't be in a hurry.